Welcome to Rebelwomen Ignited, where we defy mediocrity and live life unleashed. I'm your host, Jann Taber. Today we're coming to you from the luxurious Arden Hills Resort Club and Spa in Sacramento, California. And tonight, eWomen Network's Sacramento chapter is going to be presenting its third annual Women's Success Summit. And with me today is Susan Rueppel, PhD, and an international business intuitive expert,
yes,
known worldwide as the Chief Intuition Officer.
Yes.
And she is the Chief Intuition Officer for Rebelwomen Ignited, and you have been instrumental in having me reinvent and relaunch the show, which used to be called the Rebelwomen Show, and I'm really excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm honored to have been part of your journey.
Now, it's no coincidence you and I met several years ago, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, at an eWomen Network event. And you were, at that time, still working full-time in corporate America. You've been doing that for about 20 years successfully, and you had launched your intuition business, but you weren't doing it full-time. When did you finally decide that you were going to take that leap and go full-time into your own business?
Well, you were part of my inspiration when you told me I was news waiting to happen.
Ooh, and you are?
And my passion is to help people in business in particular through intuition. And the corporate world, I did that for a long time, and was a long, great run. But my passion is now helping people in business really access their own intuition and have more success and have more fun and make more money.
So did you kind of coach yourself using your own intuition?
Oh, absolutely.
To finally, cut that cord? Because I know I was there, and you get those golden handcuffs on. And I know there are a lot of women who really, in their heart of hearts, they want to have their own business. How do you help women? I know that a lot of your clients may be looking at jumping over. How do you help them tap into their intuition? Even if say they're looking to jump over or they're actually already in their own business, how do you do that?
Well, in a couple of ways. One of the things, I love my visual here, is this represents your business based upon your 5 physical senses and logic. And when you incorporate your intuition, your business has the potential to expand exponentially.
I love that.
It's a lot of fun.
Do that again. So a lot of people think of intuition as, kind of just following your gut.
Yes.
But my experience in getting coaching from you, getting a consultation, is that it goes way deeper than that. Can you talk a little bit more about what intuition is beyond just your gut?
Well, we're all born intuitive. Sometimes we just forget. So I have the honor of helping people remember what they already are. So what a lot of people don't realize, Jan, is that there's actually 4 primary intuitive senses. So we can see things intuitively, we can hear things intuitively, we can feel things in our body intuitively, and we can also have information just drop in, direct knowing. And even Webster says that intuition is direct access to the truth.
So you're really having people, my experience was kind of tapping into my own authenticity.
Absolutely.
And when I left our consultations, I was jazzed, I was inspired, I really felt like I was living my life on purpose, what I was supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And what I'm curious about, and when you do that, it's almost like you read my mind.
Well, I'm reading a number of different things, actually. What I do is I tap directly into the business itself. What I like to say is your business has a mind of its own. Would you like to know what it has to say? Because our business has often a much larger and clearer vision than we can wrap our left brain around, our thinking and our logic. So what I help people see is the bigger, clearer vision, and then specific strategies so you can actually be in action, moving forward more quickly, making sure that that is in alignment with your purpose and passion.
So what are some of the specific areas that intuition can help someone expand their business? What are some of the areas in business that tapping into that intuition can help?
Well, and it's interesting because a lot of people use intuition in their personal life, but they forget to use it in business. But it can be used from anything from the front end of visioning, mission, purpose, and then strategic planning, tactical planning, market niche potential, product and service potential, people potential, making sure that you're hiring the right people and putting them in the right positions, packaging, distribution, connecting with the right partners or distributors, It can be used in any area of business.
So it sounds to me like even from the folks that are looking at starting a business, they could use your services.
Absolutely.
They're just getting started and they need to really fine-tune their vision and mission statement. They're already in business, but it's not growing, and there's a lot of businesses out there that are really struggling right now with the economy. So intuition can be used in all of those areas.
Absolutely. And my clients fill all those roles. And I have clients that have been in business for 10, 20 years and they aren't seeing what can be next or what else is possible. So really helping them expand their vision and their potential as well.
And there's a number of, I think you have some tips for people on how to use their intuition to grow their business. Can you share some of those tips?
Sure. The main thing is it's threefold. It's ask the right questions. So be very specific about the questions that you're looking for intuitive answers to. And then stop and listen for the answers. We get so busy in life that sometimes we don't stop and pay attention to the answers when they do come. And then act on those answers that you receive. So ask, listen, and act. Because in that manner, you're going to expand your intuition and learn to trust it and get more intuitive information all the time.
A lot of people can ask, listen, but it's the act part that gets in the way.
Yes.
I notice. Is there something about what you do with intuition that helps them get out of their own way so that they do actually act?
Well, I do train people on how to recognize intuitive input, so that's one element of it. And then really being able to trust it and act upon it. So especially the work that I do, it's very practical. So when people see not only the clear vision, but get specific strategies and tactics and ideas, then they're much more confident about being able to act on it.
And when they act, I know for me, I know when I act, I'm doing the right actions.
Right, which can save so much time and money, especially in business. Because in business, it's all about utilizing resources effectively. Time, money, and people.
So I think most people wouldn't think of business and intuition as kind of going together. Are there any good famous examples of successful people in business who've acknowledged that they've used intuition in their life?
Oprah says that the two things that have made her most successful in business is intuition and timing. Jack Canfield writes about it in his books. Bill Gates used intuition a lot. There's just many, Steve Jobs talks about it extensively and even says in the recent biography about him, there's a quote that he said it can be even more valuable than thinking and logic.
And I want to talk a little bit about the blind spots, because that is, and go back to the action piece of this, because really, for most people, they have dreams, they have vision, they know what they want to do, they know in their heart what they should be doing, and they just can't take that step. Can you dive a little bit more into how you can help people with those, either their inability to take that action or where they might have blind spots?
Well, oftentimes, if we're operating as our society and business in general conditions us to operate primarily in our left brain, then we sometimes miss a lot of potential and possibilities. And so those are where the blind spots come in, because we're just not seeing it. We also get deluged with so much information with the internet and everything else, sometimes conflicting information, too much information, not enough information. So that can lead to blind spots as well. So by tapping into the intuition, tapping directly into the innate intelligence of your business, you can eliminate those blind spots.
And you also talk a little bit about, when you said innate intuition, you're really honing into people's personal unique genius.
Yes, their unique genius as well as their business potential.
And that must be pretty exciting for your clients when they really get connected to that authentic genius part of themselves.
Yes.
Do you have any, you don't have to tell anybody's name, but do you have an example or two of some of your more inspiring sessions with people that have really made a difference for them?
Well, one of the most interesting was a woman that came to me that was very much a skeptic. And she didn't really believe in what I did, but she'd been hearing a lot about it, so she came to me anyway. And based upon her sharing with me just her name and her business name and one sentence, which is all I require to start the consultation about what the business is about. I basically mapped out her entire business plan and also added some elements that she hadn't even thought of or hadn't even occurred to her as far as products and services, distribution channels, and things of that nature. And now she's referring clients to me left and right because now she's a believer.
Well, what do you say to the skeptics?
Well, oftentimes the skeptics never end up showing up, but I do say, you know, give it a chance, give it a shot. It's a valuable business resource that really can provide an edge in business. And the skeptics, really what happened with her is so many people kept saying, you got to go see Susan, that she finally decided she would. So, yeah.
That's great. And you have, now I know you're based in Sacramento, California. You have an incredible office. It's just, I love your space. It feels very
I love
great.
it too.
It's
very
awesome.
intentionally
It is very
set that way to be great energy.
I'm sure it is. But you have clients around the world. How do you interact with clients that can't physically get to you?
By phone or Skype, because the work I do is visual as well as auditory. So with Skype, they can actually see the visuals unfold while we're talking about what is coming forward intuitively.
And talk about, and does on the Skype piece of it, I love Skype because it's free and anybody can use it. All you need is a computer internet access and a camera, and it's almost like you're there with the person. I know that because I've consulted, you've consulted with me. Can you give people a sense of the flow of when they come in and what happens and what do they get to take away with them when they're finished?
Well, we focus on whatever's up for them, because I could dive in and do an intuitive consultation on all kinds of things, but if they're thinking about something in particular they want a resolution to, either something they're trying to create or a challenge that they're trying to resolve, so we just start right there. So I have them ask their first question, we dive right in, I tap into their business as well as their unique genius, and I draw and write what comes forward as well as describe it, because people find that they love the visuals and they get to take the visuals with them.
That's one of my favorite parts.
It really, because people learn on multiple levels, of course, now you're getting the auditory, you're getting the visual, people often get kinesthetic experiences. I know you're very kinesthetic and you could feel even in your body the excitement, and that's one of the things I love. Clients can come dragging in sometimes and they walk away an hour later and they're laughing and smiling and they're excited and they're re-energized. So really, it's the visuals and the auditory that really is very impactful.
And you actually do a recording.
I do, and they get the recording.
She emails it to you, and then you get to listen to it over and over and over again, because you provide so much information that there, even with the written materials, it's so great to have the audio that you can listen to, almost like a podcast over and over again.
And I even email the visuals in case some of my clients have lost them and said, I lost my pretty pictures. So,
so that's great.
Yes, so they can listen to it again, because you get something more each time you listen and view the visuals. You get it at another level and you get more information.
So speaking of more information, if somebody wanted to get more information, wanted to connect with you, wanted to learn more about this, where would they go to do that?
Well, they would go to my website, www.chiefintuitionofficer.com.
So that's www.chiefintuitionofficer.com.
Great.
Susan, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for being
Jann.
on the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm so excited, and thank you so much for all of the support and the counseling that you've given me to relaunch Rebelwomen Ignited. And thank you for watching Rebelwomen Ignited. And I just want to say, why settle for mediocrity when you can live life?
How many of you use intuition very intentionally, regularly in your business? When you incorporate your intuition, your business potential expands exponentially. Like this. And you'll find out that you are all intuitive. You're also learning how to further develop your intuition in business. Because that's my goal, is to teach you how to use your intuition in business in a bigger way. What I like to say is your business has a mind of its own. Would you like to know what it has to say?
Hi, I'm Linda Clemens, and welcome as Sisterpreneur Inc. presents Success Talk, where we speak with dynamic women across the world, across the nation, who share their success strategies with us. And I'm so excited you're in for a treat today. We have Susan Rueppel. She is the founder and owner of Energetic Wisdom, offering business intuition consultations and assess your inner CEO. I love it. In addition to that, you do training and mentoring. Let's talk about business intuition. What is that?
Well, Linda, what I find is many women in business freeze up when it's time to make an important business decision. And so through business intuition, they can access additional resources. So say, for example, you have too much information, not enough information, conflicting information. That can be so confusing, especially when you have an impending deadline or something important you're trying to achieve in your business.
Absolutely.
So by accessing intuition, they're able to make those business decisions quicker and easier. They can save time, save money, have time to attract more clients.
And do you give us a strategy? Do you give someone a strategy to how to do that? How do you go and use your, I know when I get my personal intuition, but how do I tap into my business intuition?
Well, it's a 3-element process that I call PACT. It's making intuition practical, accessible, and transferable to every part of your business.
I love it. Something tells me intuitively that you have a phone number, how we can reach you.
I
And a website.
I do. And website is energeticwisdom.com. And the phone number is 916-491-4787. And the other thing that I do, as you mentioned, is I help women in business learn to access their own inner CEO, their own intuition. So in that manner, they can have access to a full-time, brilliant consultant that knows everything about them.
Oh, I like
and their
that.
answers are right there
I like
inside.
that. Can you give them your number one more time?
Yes, thanks, Linda. 916-491-4787.
Gosh, my business has its own intuition. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
This represents your business based upon your 5 physical senses and logic. And when you incorporate your intuition, your business has the potential to expand exponentially.
I love that.
It's a lot of fun.
Do that again. So a lot of people think of intuition as, kind of just following your gut.
Yes.
But my experience in getting coaching from you, getting a consultation, is that it goes way deeper than that. Can you talk a little bit more about what intuition is beyond just your gut?
Well, we're all born intuitive. Sometimes we just forget. So I have the honor of helping people remember what they already are. So what a lot of people don't realize, Jann, is that there's actually 4 primary intuitive senses. So we can see things intuitively, we can hear things intuitively, we can feel things in our body intuitively, and we can also have information just drop in, direct knowing. And even Webster says that intuition is direct access to the truth.
So you're really having people, my experience was kind of tapping into my own authenticity.
Absolutely.
And when I left our consultations, I was jazzed, I was inspired, I really felt like I was living my life on purpose, what I was supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And what I'm curious about, when you do that, it's almost like you read my mind.
Well, I'm reading a number of different things, actually. What I do is I tap directly into the business itself. What I like to say is your business has a mind of its own. Would you like to know what it has to say?